and the gospel, according to St. Mark this evening, present us with two women that have a lot in common. Both are widows. Both are generous women. The two of them clearly have taken risks. And they have taken these risks because they trust God, helping them to make a decision, risking everything. And it's admirable to see that strength that can only be noticed by the faith that they both carry. They can see beyond the physical because of that faith. They're able to see beyond what they had in front of them without any limitations. And sometimes as human beings, we put limits to our vision. We put a stop. We slam the brakes. Sometimes because of fear, or lack of trust, or lack of hope. At times I can imagine if I were in the place of the widow that Elijah approached asking for bread, I would be saying to myself, are you out of your mind? To give you a piece of bread to bake with the little flour that I have? And then you tell me that be assured that I'll be able to make a piece of bread before I die, the last piece? I just can't do that. I mean, it's obvious. It's not enough. What I have is not enough. Or the woman in the gospel today. All she had was those 2 coins. And if I were her, humanly speaking, I'll go bankrupt. Then what? Able to buy food? I won't be able to. Able to obtain some sort of security? I can't even afford it with those 2 coins. I have nothing. How could I give you what I need, what I depend on? We do that with many things in life. That's why these 2 women are an incredible lesson and inspiration to us all when it comes to our relationship with God and trusting God. God, who is the owner of the flour that was able to provide for that widow in Elijah's reading, and the God of all treasures, who will provide for his children because he has promised so. They were able to see beyond the physical. They trusted. Once they heard that God would not turn back on his word, that he would grant and tend to their needs. These women, perhaps many might think of them as irresponsible because of those decisions. How could you bake that piece of bread for Elijah, knowing that most likely you will not have enough for that child that you have been entrusted to care for? And the other woman, how irresponsible, giving away all that treasure, those simple little coins, and find yourself with nothing. That's irresponsible. Not so in the eyes of God. They were very responsible because they did not waste the flour nor the coins. They offered them lovingly to God. The flour, by listening to what the Lord had commanded her to do through Elijah the prophet. And the other widow, by coming before the presence of God, offering her life, all that she had, all that she owned, recognizing that it belongs to God and that God would bless her back. That is admirable. And that is an incredible inspiration to each and every one of us. And God is asking us to do the same. He turns to us also, seeking our generosity, just like those two women showed generosity. Generosity in the manner in which we present ourselves before the Lord, recognizing that all we have belongs to Him, and that He has enriched us with these gifts for a purpose, to enrich the life of those around us, in the manner in which we love and care for each other, in the manner in which we tend to the needs of those whom the Lord places before us. And that generosity is manifested in so many different ways. In the manner in which we offer a smile to someone who's having a bad day. In the way in which we can assist others with work or studies. In the manner in which we are able to help a neighbor mow the lawn if they're not able to. So many different ways in which we can enhance the life of others by offering our skills, our time, our willingness to help, and make the difference in the life of someone in need. That's who we are as the body of Christ. That's who we are as faithful followers of the Lord. And the Lord, who has given us all these gifts, will bless us in the manner in which we allow those gifts to enhance the life of those we want to share our life with, share our faith with. Because in the manner in which we do that, we convey God's generosity, God's mercy, God's compassion and love. What better example than the one behind me as we look at that cross? There we see the generosity of the Son of God, taking a risk by allowing Himself to be arrested, flogged, crowned with thorns, sentenced to die, carrying a heavy cross, being nailed to that tree. Incredible risk. One filled with courage because He trusted in His Father's will that He would rise on the third day, destroying sin and death so that you and I may have life, and life to the fullest. I want to thank those who came on Friday and throughout the day and the early hours of Saturday morning until yesterday at 8 o'clock, came to our parish, spending an hour of prayer before the Blessed Sacrament. During our exposition and adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, praying for this commitment weekend, praying for our parish, praying for our families. Thank you for your generosity of time. Thank you for the risk of coming in the middle of the night to this beautiful part of South Orlando, where so many people are afraid of driving by. Thank you for coming through these doors, seeking the Lord, spending an hour with Him. 500 people, little over 500 people, made their way to St. John Vianney. Friday, beginning at 9 o'clock in the morning, all through the day and the night and the early hours of the morning until yesterday, to pray for each and every one of us and for this blessed place we call our parish, our home. May God bless those brothers and sisters for their goodness, because we know that the Lord listens to our prayers. And the Lord generously tends to our needs. And that's why the Lord depends on each and every one of us to be a beacon of hope in our community by sharing our prayers for the well-being of our community, of our families, of our parish. Asking the Lord to help us engage in active participation in this community, in the manner in which we not only fulfill a Sunday obligation, which is expected, but going beyond, like these widows, in offering our time in the wonderful ministries that make this parish so special and such a wonderful place of rest and strength for those who come seeking God's help. And the generosity that comes not only through the financial gift offerings that you bring to our parish, but in the manner in which you also help by making the difference in so many other opportunities like the mulch madness or the pressure washing and so many other wonderful projects that can help us in so many ways. May the good Lord bless us all as we make a commitment to the Lord to respond to the call, to be His servants, to be His disciples, willing to embrace a stewardship way of living by offering our time, our talents, and our skills. May we continue to follow the example of those two widows in today's readings. Offer to the Lord what we have, knowing that it does not compare with what the Lord has to offer us, which is far greater, far bigger than what we can offer with love. May the good work that God has begun in each and every one of us bring it to fulfillment as we present ourselves before the Lord with generous hearts, willing to embrace the call and live a stewardship way, a way that fills us with blessings and enhances our lives with the gift of His presence.